everyone.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay, we've got an article for you today. Okay, we're going to talk about pollution. Oh, boy. And the title is Most of the World is Breathing Polluted Air. Now, when I first came to Korea, some 25 years ago, the air was just so clean. It was so nice. And then at some point, it just started getting more polluted. And then we had the yellow dust, and then it was like one thing after another. So I find myself checking the air pollution index every day. Like, okay, how's the air today?
Oh, really?
I do.
I just ignore it now.
Really?
I mean, I can't change the air.
Well, that is true. That is true. But sometimes when it's really bad, when the pollution is really bad, I try not to go out. Just, but if it's under whatever, then it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I open my windows so much that like the air outside is my air inside.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
Well, here's the thing, Cameron. They say that indoor air pollution is worse.
Oh my gosh.
Can be worse than the outdoor pollution.
We're just going to have to figure out a way not to breathe.
I know. We all need to carry around oxygen tanks.
It is a very sad reality,
Yes.
but yes, we are talking about air pollution today.
That's right. And this is not just Korea. This is around the world, most of the world.
Yeah.
Okay. So set off is an expression we're going to learn today. S-E-T and then off.
So this means to cause or to start, especially when we're talking about like alarms or noises.
Yeah.
To set off an alarm means to start an alarm.
Yes, that's right. Link to something or someone.
You are being connected to that thing or person.
Okay, how about a rallying cry? It's spelled A-R-L-L-Y-I-N-G.
A rallying cry. To rally means to come together.
Yeah.
And maybe cheer or fight even. So a rallying cry is something that you say or do that makes people join you.
Okay, very good. So it feels like a group event.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and listen to our Saturday article.
A new report reveals that nearly the entire world is breathing polluted air, with only 17% of cities meeting the World Health Organization's WHO Safe Air Quality Guidelines in 2024. Based on data from 40,000 monitoring stations in 138 countries, the report is setting off alarm bells around the world. India's Bernahad ranked as the world's most polluted city, with levels more than 25 times above the WHO's threshold. Only 7 countries, including Australia and Iceland, met WHO guidelines. Polluted air is linked to serious health risks, including respiratory issues and cancer. This report should be a rallying cry for nations around the world to address this situation immediately.
Please turn to page 146. You can find the Power article there. Most of the world is breathing polluted air. So, here we go. A new report reveals that nearly the entire world is breathing polluted air, with only 17% of cities meeting the World Health Organization's Safe Air Quality Guidelines in 2024. So basically, Cameron, 83% of the world is breathing polluted air. So only 17% of cities, as we read here, are meeting the Safe Air Quality Guidelines, according to WHO. Okay?
Yes.
Based on data from 40,000 monitoring stations in 138 countries, the report is setting off alarm bells around the world. Okay, here comes our first expression. So, of course, they have these sort of monitoring stations that check the air quality.
Yes.
And they're getting some really bad data. And it is setting off alarm bells. So what is to set off, and when do you usually use this expression?
In this case, to set off means to start something. Here, we're talking about something that makes a sound, an alarm, right?
Right.
So to set off an alarm means to start an alarm. Make that alarm, I don't know, whatever type of alarm you have. But you can also set off a reaction,
Okay.
for example, and you are starting, maybe it's a chemical reaction.
Okay. Yeah.
You're starting.
Yeah. So it's kind of, basically, it's a fancy way of saying to start.
Yes.
Okay. But it does feel like it's set it off and it's continuing and it's maybe getting louder and louder.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you're starting it and maybe now you cannot stop it.
Right.
Yeah. It has started and it will continue going.
Because when you start something, you can stop it. And of course, set off, you can stop it too, but it does feel like it's bigger.
Yeah.
It carries. Okay. So let's continue.
India's Birnahat ranked as the world's most polluted city with levels more than 25 times above the WHO's threshold.
Okay, so we've heard in the news about the terrible pollution in India, but specifically this city, Birnahat, is the world's most polluted city. Seriously, you can't even see.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can't. I've seen pictures.
Ugh.
Okay, and it is levels more than 25 times above whose threshold. First of all, let's talk about this power vocab, threshold. 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 What is a threshold?
A threshold is basically the limit, and it can be used in a minimum way or a maximum way. So sometimes a threshold you want to get to.
Yeah.
So if it's a minimum threshold, after you pass it, maybe you're getting something good.
Okay.
But in this case, this is a maximum threshold. So the WHO has said, okay, up until this amount, it's okay.
Yes.
Above this threshold, above this amount, is not good.
Okay, so threshold is here. Okay, this is like minimum. They are 25 times more than the threshold.
Yeah.
So so we can see how serious and dangerous this can be.
Definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so more than 25, and more than is our power pattern.
Yes, this entire expression with something more than. You are going to emphasize the degree or the amount of something.
Yeah.
With levels more than 25 times, you've already given the main information, the world's most polluted city.
Yeah.
Now you're going to give a more specific number describing why it's the most polluted city.
Yeah. So if it's 25 times the threshold, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how they survive, with the breathing. It's every day. Okay. Only 7 countries, including Australia and Iceland, met WHO guidelines. Yeah, well, maybe we should move to Australia.
Or Iceland.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Polluted air is linked to serious health risks, including respiratory issues and cancer. So oftentimes when they do these studies and these chemicals is linked to, it's often used when we're talking about health or disease. What is this is linked to?
It means you found a connection or a relationship between two different things.
Right.
So polluted air can cause these health risks.
Right. And so linked to does feel, though, like if you use the word cause, you feel like, oh, okay, this definitely is a reason why cancer would come about. But when you use the expression is linked to, you're like, well, we don't know if it's the cause, but there is a connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like a direct cause.
Yes.
But these two things often show up together.
That's it. That's it. Okay. So let's finish this off.
This report should be a rallying cry for nations around the world to address this situation immediately.
Okay. So this report, which says that 83% of the world has bad air pollution, should be a rallying cry for countries or nations.
Yes.
What does this mean? Rallying cry.
A rallying cry is originally when someone would stand up and say, "Hey, let's go!"
You know what movie I think of?
What?
I think of Mel Gibson in Braveheart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's right?
Yeah, he's like,
He's painted, and like blue,
yeah.
and it's a rallying cry for freedom.
"You should take our freedom."
Yes.
Yeah, or
Yes.
I forget what he says.
Right.
For Scotland.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that is a rallying cry, of course, to the army, to all of the warriors behind him to fight against the British army.
Right. So in this case, a rallying cry for the nations means, hey, countries, you need to speak up.
Yeah, let's
and do
come
something.
together
Let's
and
come together.
solve this pollution problem.
Okay. Let's listen to the article one more time.
A new report reveals that nearly the entire world is breathing polluted air, with only 17% of cities meeting the World Health Organization's WHO Safe Air Quality Guidelines in 2024. Based on data from 40,000 monitoring stations in 138 countries, the report is setting off alarm bells around the world. India's Burnahad ranked as the world's most polluted city, with levels more than 25 times above the WHO's threshold. Only 7 countries, including Australia and Iceland, met WHO guidelines. Polluted air is linked to serious health risks, including respiratory issues and cancer. This report should be a rallying cry for nations around the world to address this situation immediately.
It's time for Power Note. Please join us on pages 148 and 149. If you set off something, usually you are causing an alarm to start.
Yes.
Okay, or a reaction. What was all the noise in the conference room about?
Todd's comment about product quality set off a heated debate in the meeting.
So if it sets off a debate, it means to start a debate. And there is that feeling of we didn't intend to, we didn't want to, but it happened. It caused it. Okay. The loud noise set off the car alarm.
Oh, yeah, in movies, like a dog barks,
Yeah, and then the car.
It's enough vibration to make the car start.
It's so true. And not only one car, but 2 or 3 cars. That's the worst.
Yeah. I often think of, with this expression, do you know what a Rube Goldberg machine is?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So a Rube Goldberg machine is sometimes you'll see it where you hit this button and it makes a ball go down a track and then the ball hits a cup and then the cup lands on something and the weight pushes up another thing which makes a magnet pull across a car.
It's kind of like when you go to a science museum, they have those things.
Yeah, it's an overly complicated machine.
Yes.
It's often used in a comical way,
That's
right? That's called a Rube Goldberg machine. But there's often an interesting way that you set off the machine. You start it by hitting one small thing.
Right.
And then it causes so many other things to happen. A chain reaction. Yeah.
It's so true.
That's what I think about with this expression, to set off.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I did not know what that was called.
Yeah, I think the original kind of comic that made these, I think his last name was Goldberg, or maybe Rube Goldberg.
Yeah, those are always so fun.
Yeah.
Though, right? You think of the mad scientist sometimes working in his lab and, he made it just for himself, just to get a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, what is it? Wallace and Gromit?
Yeah.
Wallace.
That's it.
Always makes these really complicated machines.
Yes, that's right. Oh, that's a great example. Well, okay. To set off, so usually we talk about set off alarm, set off a warning, set off, a debate. What else could we set off?
You could set off sometimes like a fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could start a fight.
Right. It's
Okay.
one of these things that you start and you almost feel like it's a little bit out of my control now.
It's kind of hard to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. To link to something or someone means that there's a connection. Okay. Does anyone know why so many people are getting sick?
The illness has been linked to contaminated water.
Ooh, not good.
Yeah.
Okay. This research links increased stress to poor sleep quality.
Yeah.
We all know that stress affects our sleep quality.
Yes. So this expression linked to is often used for health-related things.
Right.
Sometimes for social issues or things like, for example, in school, attendance is linked to your grades, linked to better grades.
Yeah.
So if you are missing class often, that you, not always, but often means that your grades are lower than they could have been.
Yeah. And even if you want to take the case bigger, it's like they link it also to, kids dropping out of school. Right?
Yeah.
Some of these cities, kind of inner cities that have, where kids struggle, attendance is very big.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if there is a rallying cry, it means that you are getting people to get together and take action.
Yes.
Okay. Anita is such an inspirational woman.
Her passionate editorial served as a rallying cry for environmentalists.
Yeah. So, obviously, political, environmental, some crisis, these sort of issues, I think we use the word rallying cry.
Yeah, like, think of Greta Thunberg. She was
Yes.
like, save our planet.
Yeah.
I will not go to school. Save my planet.
That's right.
That was a rallying
That
cry.
is. Okay.
Yeah.
The leader's speech became a rallying cry for change. Okay. So, rallying cry for the environment, rallying cry for freedom. It could be anything.
Yeah. Even in sports, you
Yeah.
can have a rallying cry.
Sure.
Maybe one person is in charge of the cheering, right? Let's do it.
We can do it.
We can win.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Our power pattern today is with and then ... more than. Okay. The enemy attacked with an army more than twice as large. So this is used to really emphasize it was double
Yes.
the amount.
Tourists flooded the town with numbers more than any previous year.
Again, if you say with numbers more than any previous year, it is to emphasize this fact. Okay, our power vocab is the word threshold. Do check out the definition on page 150. And please stop by,
오디오 학당.
okay, and subscribe for a very small fee to maybe you want to listen to all of this week's power dialogues again.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reviewing is linked to better memory.
Ooh, long-term memory.
Long-term memory.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.